And now, artist and founder of PeaceLove, Jeffrey Spar.
Good morning. That could be a hallmark moment, but I chose that image for a reason. Those are my three children, Harrison, Charlie, and Grayson. My lovely wife, Jennifer. My good friend, I know we got some people here from Disney, Mickey Mouse, and myself. It all looks beautiful. What you don't see, perhaps, is that I was suffering one of the worst anxiety and panic attacks that I had ever had. In my early 20s, after my athletic career at Ohio State, I was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder. My first reaction was relief, because I thought I was going crazy. And my second reaction, I got something, what am I going to do to get better? Pretty simple formula. Recurrent and unwanted thoughts, random, about bizarre things that come out of absolutely nowhere, about trivial types of stuff on a level for those of you who have children. You're in the airport, perhaps, and you turn around for a moment and your child is lost. I don't think there's anybody that can't understand that level of anxiety and that panic. If somebody could come up to you and say anything in that moment, and all you could think about is your child. Someone that has what I have can have that exact same level of anxiety over something completely ridiculous. And then if that's not bad enough, it forces you to do compulsions to lower that level of anxiety. The stuff that I get is, mental repetitions, visualization, spot-to-spot repeats in my mind. Imagine, if you can, be in the middle of your day before you have to get up to speak, and you might have to visualize something. I mean, we've all had that before. Something comes to your mind, oh, I can think of that, I got it. Try that on for 12 hours. My oldest son, he describes it best. He said, Dad, it's like you have an imaginary friend, but he's evil. And I said, you're absolutely right. And at times, my son describes his OCD as a bully, because that's exactly what it is. It's an assassin. It's silent. It's invisible. It preys on what you value the most. 26% of Americans have some type of diagnosable mental illness. Virtually every single family, one way or the other, is affected by it. It's a staggering statistic for a society. I don't know if it's known by everybody. It was interesting this morning as I was getting ready in the hotel room. I was here in Kansas City on a day early to teach our program at the Crittenden Children's Center. A wonderful place where children, great children, kids, they just got dealt a lousy hand. And I was just looking at the director gave me some information, and first sentence, it's a shocking statistic, but by the age 18, 1 in 4 children in the United States will have a diagnosable psychiatric disorder. I mean, that's rather unbelievable. And unfortunately, people who suffer don't suffer themselves. It's like my family, we signed up for the family plan. But here's a note from my wife. Over our 12 years, I've watched my husband's daily struggle with obsessive-compulsive disorder. As his wife, I get the pleasure and sometimes the burden of having him and his OCD all to myself. I love being able to spend time with my husband. But when these unwanted thoughts enter his mind, I'm no longer talking to him. It can be the most frustrating thing. Then I realize, if it's frustrating to me, I can't even imagine what it's like for him. I know I can walk away and no longer deal with it if I choose. He isn't so lucky. But I sit here today and I tell you, I'm one of the lucky ones. I've been able to get excellent help and do exposure therapy to be able to improve my life, but it's a struggle that I've dealt with for 25 years. 15 years ago, on the way home from work one day, I literally decided that I was going to try to paint. Now, here's the kicker. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, all right? But when you're desperate like I am, I said, I'll try anything. So I said, maybe it'll work. Maybe make feel better. Well, sure enough, it made me feel better. And it enabled me in a way to be able to express what I was going through some of my images. Up there, Stop the Madness, which is how somebody like myself feels. It gave me an opportunity to capture my vision on a canvas. But when it came to painting, I had an idea, I had an image, boom, I could control it, unlike these unwanted thoughts that came into my mind. I also found that, unexpectedly again, that I was pretty good at it. You see some of my images here. That's my family. That's one that I hope people have connected with. That's called 1 and 4. The guy with the splatter is me. On the top, you see an image that's called Getting Better. And it's become very important to our platform and what we're doing. You'll notice left to right that the images and the bubbles get brighter. Not unlike recovery. It's difficult work, but it's possible. Other images, the top one, half daddy. How somebody like myself who suffers feels like. Half there, not there sometimes. In my emergence as an artist, and today I have kind of a cult following, is almost comical, especially as I'm sitting here at Hallmark, is my career started with note cards. And I would print 500 note cards every holiday season, personally sign them and send it to all my clients, customers, colleagues, family. And what happened over the years is people started collecting these things. And then it would actually got to the point where they would call me and they would say, hey, Jeff, I love that piece of work, this holiday's card. Who did it? And I'm like, me? So it got so bad that, I don't know if Hallmark's ever done this, in the ensuing years, I would highlight my name and put stars around it to draw attention to the fact that I was the artist. So my rise was not easy. But what ended up happening was, I think people connected with my story, my images. The image right here on the bottom right was from one of my first shows. That's called Beautiful to Be Us. And I don't know, I love to ask the audience and challenge people. What's unusual about that painting is there's no faces. And this is a game we play in our workshops. No face. Then the reason is, well, why is there no face? And then we go through a charade. Does anybody know why there's no faces? Any guesses on that one? Anybody? They're hard to do. You know something? I figured if someone's going to pull it out of the bag, it's going to be here, right, with all these creative people. But, so anyways, it's somewhat comical when we have our program, is I get all kinds of guesses. It's the face of mental illness. It's everybody's the same. It's blind. It's this and that. And they're all great answers, and I tell people they're a lot deeper than I am. The true reason there's no face, and I had only had one until the other day and today, I had only had, amongst 1,000 people, only one young lady ever get it. In a 5th grader, girl at a preparatory school, I asked why there's no faces, and she says, because you can't draw a face. I said, you're right. So the people that sell my artwork, they say, Jeff, you can't tell people that you can't draw a face. And I said, no. I said, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the fact that it's become, my unique style, perhaps, and what separates, my work from others. And I use it when I out with people to tell them, to me, it's the classic example of using a disadvantage to your advantage. I paint because it makes me feel better. I thought it would help other people. That's it. Here we go. This is how it all started. Okay, I'm working as quickly as I can. I don't know if anybody's got this yet. Almost done. Maybe I'll give them a little. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, there it is. All right. So that's how it all started. Anybody know who that guy is? And I've heard a lot of doozies over the years. Michael Jackson, I like that one. I've heard Harrison Ford. I've heard a mobster. When you're from Rhode Island, you appreciate that. but it's me. But I'm not done yet. I got to add two things: peace of mind and love in your heart. And if you add those two, that's our equation.